Today, as the U.S.-Israel military campaign against Iran, dubbed Operation Epic Fury, unfolds, one question stands out. How much is this war costing the United States? Since the broader Middle East crisis began with the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack, the U.S. has spent tens of billions of dollars supporting allied operations in the region. According to Brown University's Costs of War project, from October 2023 through September 2025, the United States provided about $21.7 billion in military aid to Israel, roughly $17.9 billion in the first year and $3.8 billion in the second year, in line with a long-term Memorandum of Understanding. A December 2025 report from the Pentagon's Inspector General raised concerns about oversight, noting that over $13 billion of that aid was improperly tracked, highlighting gaps in accountability during a period of expanded military support. Beyond aid, direct U.S. military operations across the Middle East, including defending against Houthi attacks in Yemen, strikes in Syria and Iraq, and support for Israel's defenses, added an estimated $9.65 billion to $12.07 billion of spending, bringing the two-year total to roughly $31.35 billion to $33.77 billion. Then came Operation Epic Fury on February 28, 2026, an unprecedented joint air campaign targeting Iranian leadership, nuclear infrastructure, and military facilities. On the first day alone, analysts estimate that U.S. forces burned through approximately $779 million, accounting for munitions, aircraft operations, and advanced platform deployments like B-2 bombers, F-22 and F-35 fighters, drones, and extensive naval firepower. Daily operational costs in a conflict like this, based on similar U.S. missions, can range between $25 million and $40 million per day, driven by fuel, maintenance, ordnance, and air defense expenditures. This does not include the price of replacement interceptor missiles or long-range precision munitions, which can run into the tens of millions per shot. We can also draw on Al Jazeera's reporting, which noted that total U.S. spending connected to hostilities with Iran and its allies may already be north of $31 billion and rising, even before factoring in the 2026 conflict's full costs. Let's consider hypothetically what happens if this war lasts 2 months. Taking a conservative estimate, it would amount to total direct operational cost of approximately $2.55 billion for 2 months of conflict. Add to that continued ammunition resupply and ordnance expenditures, carrier strike group operations and air wings forward deployed, missile defense costs in the Gulf and Eastern Mediterranean, logistical sustainment and personnel support. A realistic 2-month U.S. expense could thus exceed $3 to $4 billion in direct operations alone, and that's before economic ripple effects are considered. Economic side effects matter too. Reuters reporting shows U.S. gasoline prices climbed above $3 per gallon in early March 2026 in response to the conflict, threatening broader inflationary pressures at home. Critics, including some lawmakers and analysts, argue that millions spent on foreign military aid and direct operations risk adding to the U.S. debt burden without clear benchmarks for success. Conversely, supporters frame this spending as necessary to blunt what they describe as a strategic threat from Iran's nuclear aspirations and regional proxies. In the end, even a short 2-month phase of active engagement represents a heavy financial commitment for the United States, billions in direct costs, tens of billions in allied support, and potentially more depending on how the conflict evolves. The next question now is not just how much has been spent so far, but how long will it last, and what will the cumulative cost be for global stability and American taxpayers? NewsTold, truth beyond headlines.